And it looks like we will be seeing SinCere on the attacker side. Team Awa Awa is looking to defend. Right now, it seems like they have, I would say, similar team compositions. I do see a little bit more of a, I guess, typical Ascent lineup on the attacker side for SinCere. I don't really see Cypher as often on Ascent, but he is a strong contender, especially for those holds, you know. One thing I do want to talk about is I think that they can have a definite impact with.
This goes here. That goes there.
Yeah, they can have. I think that Omen does tap in to be the preferred smoker
This is a
on
nice
this
spot.
site usually,
Yes,
on this
this should
map.
do.
But Cypher is less versatile when it comes to defending both of these sites. However, we do have that Sova pick that is very popular, as well as the Jet, that are both very typical to this map.
Sorry, my internet cut out. I was having issues. Okay. So we are going to be seeing more of a B side lean, and I'm interested because we do have a Sentinel presence on the B side. So this may go a little easy for the attacker side because there are only two people allocated there.
Even as they're pushing through the garden area, they don't really see
Camera taken out.
any actual resistance at this moment. Only that of the camera, and Emily is going to get first blood with Hannah. And though also picks are coming out in favor of the attackers, meaning that they're going to get this plant down, and all they're going to have to do is defend for the post plant 4v2 situation.
Yeah, and it seems like the defenders are kind of stuck out. I don't think Stephanie has really any information as to where anyone is.
Last player standing.
She goes down just trying to get that little bit.
And Emily gets the third pick of that round, taking out Teray and giving SinCere that first round.
That was just a very quick execute, you know. I think they just went all out with their utility, like, immediately, and that just caused everyone to just have to back off, you know. I think Hannah was definitely trying to hold it down, and it was a smart decision to hold it in the smoke. But once that went down, she was kind of just out in the open, and it wasn't really going to go favorably for her because she was just surrounded by all sides by SinCere.
I think that's another reason people will prefer Kildra's utility to Cypher's, because her utility actually does damage. Meanwhile, Cypher's is more informational gathering and just trying to keep people safe. That's first blood. Zozie, with forcing up onto that Spectre, gets that pick onto Madison.
Seems like a very slow push. And we are going to see Rotate come out because of this.
Yeah, the defenders are making their rotations, leaving Hannah to defend A site on her own. Carly connects with the paranoia. And she's going to be hopping onto Harley, trying to delay this push. However, Zozie and Lily are going to get those picks, meaning the plant is going down for the attackers once again. And they're just going to have to defend for the
player standing.
Another pick from Zozie. Hannah getting one of her own, but Emily quickly trading for her teammate. 0-2 on the board.
And you know, I really like how Zozie is utilizing her paranoia, because I definitely think that just really takes out a big factor in that there's an unknown quantity, and so you don't really have to worry too much about that unknown quantity since they can't see in that moment. I think that's kind of what they're going for in that moment, because they don't have the information gathering that Cypher gives them, but they do have the ability to control what's going on and who's going to be peeking. They don't have to worry about those angles.
Yeah. Now they're looking towards more of an A push. Gathering this orb, we'd love to see people who farm orbs on this map, since we have some really valuable ultimates, especially the Killjoy lockdown for taking these sites.
Yeah, and these orbs are typically attacker sided, so what's your opinion on like the orb placement?
Enemy tag.
Well, this is definitely one of the more attacker-sided maps. Like Bind, it's very easy for defenders to steal their orbs, but the placement of them just make it much easier for these attackers to farm their ultimates.
Yeah, it's very safe to just grab it if you're on the attacker side, whereas if you're a defender, you have to contest for it.
Careful now.
Damage onto Natty. We should note that there are this is an uneven gun matchup with the defenders having full ARs.
This will hurt the defenders though. If they do lose this round, having a full AR lineup
30
with
seconds left.
this like little amount of money, they're not going to be able to afford for a little bit if they do lose this. And it seems like quick
And
execute
Natty
onto a
gets
close
that
site.
first pick onto site, and that makes it a 5v4. Finally,
Spike
the
planted.
time very low, but the spike is going to go down. And it looks like Russia's heading out towards A main. Probably has a few shock dart lineups for this post plant. Paranoia comes out. Stephanie finds one on the retake. Lily, unfortunately, gonna trade her. Trey and Stephanie both getting picks of their own, and I think that was the shock dart lineup we're talking about. There it is, going on to site right now. Oh, actually
Last
misses the
player
spike
standing.
there. I think we might be able to tap it. Stephanie getting 3 picks for this round, and a 4th for her, taking out Rush and A main, making the safe defuse for Owa Owa.
Spike is diffused.
Yeah, but that's still definitely gonna hurt Team Owa Owa because that was a very big buy. You know, to only come out with 2 members with their ARs, that's not gonna be looking good for them. And I also think that it was good idea on SinCere's part to kind of take those close fights. B site does have a very close area, but I feel like if they took A site, that would have been a lot more to their advantage since it's not those long angles.
Yeah, mostly the worst angle. I think it was a good idea for not to push mid, since Ascent has these really long sight lines, and it's why people opping is so powerful on this map. Speaking of mid, they are looking to push mid here, and Trey is going to get that info, hopping up and down in their spawn. That gives them free control of this market area, and Natty is going to aggressively push onto site, gets spotted out by the spy cam. But Hannah isn't going to be able to hold down this site with all the defender present, checking every single angle. The trades coming out in favor of SinCere.
You're dead.
There's the run it back being popped. Natty trying to take control of CT, gets so much damage onto Stephanie, but isn't going to be able to finish off that kill.
Last player standing.
Trey is the sole defender left, but Emily makes quick work, taking out 3 and Zosie cleaning up. Right, it looks like we are looking at a save round now for Owa Owa after those big buys. But meanwhile, the attackers are on a full AR, so this should be a pretty good round for SinCere. Madison taking an aggressive stance here in A main, but it looks like the attackers are only really looking to poke the defenders right now, playing for a pick until they can decide on where to go. But they do have full control of this mid area, looking to push up into market through all this smoke.
Mary is playing this very close angle, so if they do decide to push it, she's gonna have to play her life.
Oh my gosh, the dink with Stephanie, but Emily reacts quickly and gets first blood for this round. All of the kills coming out, making it a 5v3 situation in this round. Owa Owa only having those sheriffs to rely on. And Madison, the lone defender on A, while all of the attackers are pushing up through Garden. Zosie is still in A main, and I'm not sure
30 seconds
Maddie Sun
left.
is going to
Go on my
predict
mark.
that there's going to be someone here. Oh my god, they just miss each other in the smoke, but Zosie, quick with it, and flicks right up to Maddie's head. Carly trying to take out the defender here in
Player
Garden,
standing.
but Lily gets the info off her turret, and Rush cleans up. That's 4-1 on the board.
Yeah. And I think that definitely came down to who had the better weapons. But now we're gonna see more of an even lineup now that both can afford. Hopefully this means that it's a bit more even. I'm looking at it seems like it's gonna be a B push. And one thing I am looking at is the attackers
goes
do
here.
have 3 ults up, so this
That
could be
goes
a
there.
good take because Killjoy does have her ult up and she can force them off.
Yeah, we do have some very common lockdown spots for this B site, and they can't really be taken out unless there's a Hunter's Fury up, sometimes shock darts. But Maddie Sun finally getting the open pick, aggressive stance paying off in A main, and that's going to discourage Zosie from pushing up there.
Oh, but look at this. They're all Carly's so pushed up into B main. And Emily's just waiting.
They saw each other, but a little bit slow to the trigger finger there, and no shots fired.
They will get the information off of that and know that they are hovering around B main. But it seems like Tire is kind of making a bit of a move on A, just making some noise.
Oh my god, the defenders are all rotating to A after they didn't get any recon off of that shock dart. Off of that recon dart. It looks like most of them rotated to A, expecting that push.
30
And
seconds
here's the
left.
Killjoy lockdown coming out now. Stephanie getting a pick onto Zosie on A site. However, dashing through the Cypher util is going to destroy it, and that means they're going to have a plant on the site with only with only Carly defending this site. She's not going to be able to push on. And there's the Killjoy utility. It's really, oh my gosh, it's so unique how they didn't just use it until they actually pushed onto the site, and they're just delaying defuse.
This does give them time to gather up though, and they can push together. If they take these fights 2v1, they can win it. Oh, but it seems like they're losing.
Enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, that 3K from her as she was retaking the site, and she's going to get that defuse, evening it out a little bit. 2-4 on the board for the defenders. Owa Owa.
Yeah, I'm interested in the fact that she executed that Killjoy ult so early. I mean, I feel like it could have been more of a benefit if there was more of a presence already being made, I guess, because now you just gave them time to kind of gather up and group up outside, and they can coordinate at that point. Right now,
Yeah,
we
I
are
was-
gonna. Oh,
No, I was surprised that even with that Killjoy ultimate, Owa Owa was able to pull through with that round.
I think it came up to the fact that they just all went at it at once. They sent it and they took sight back.
Bomb buddy out.
Right now, it's a very mixed buy on Owa Owa's part. They are hurting for cash, and if they lose this one, it's gonna be even worse in the future. While it seems like SinCere is just kind of relaxing right now in regards to the economy.
Yeah, it's definitely not rolling in cash, but they will have enough to buy next round even if they lose this round.
Going up.
Oh.
Still more of a default push. I think SinCere enjoys playing these rounds very slowly. They're very careful with which site instead of going for aggressive pushes.
That's done.
Unfortunate that Blade Storm isn't going to have any value for Maddie's son. She whiffs on Natty, and she
30
gets that
seconds
first
left.
gets that pick onto the site. And meanwhile, Market Door is
Careful
being
now.
closed, so they're going to have a free site to push onto as the dart cover smokes out the CT.
But Natty 2v1 was gonna win that.
Grace being pinched here with Natty coming up behind. I think they just kind of forgot about her. Natty getting another pick for this round, 3K, and Zozy, that last one onto Carly, 2-5.
And back to what you said, you know, I feel like they're just kind of taste testing every site because they do send people, but I don't feel like it's an actual default. I feel like it's more like they're getting a feel for who's where and trying to read the team, seeing as to where they can get an advantage. You know, I feel like if they get a pick, they could just send it at that point because that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping for aggression so that they can play off of that.
Look at this, look at this full save on Owa Owa's part. That is not good. And oh my god, Maddie still gets that first blood though onto her clone Emily QD with that aggression. I think they weren't expecting it from them. Unfortunately, she's going to get traded by her teammates, and that's a 4-3 situation for advantage going to SinCere.
We do have a lot of
Deploying drone.
ults up on Owa Owa's part. They can play for information.
Oh yeah, they do have. Oh, that. Okay, that was a good owl drone, but she's going to miss the Killjoy who is hiding under heaven. So Lily is going to go unrevealed. They don't know that there are two heaven attackers or hell
Natty?
attackers.
Natty's just pressuring them. They can't really.
Last player standing.
Oh, the right clicks.
Yeah, Carly and Tire really didn't have that much to lose there. They only had their classics, and they were just kind of hopping in and going for it.
Yeah. But again, we are seeing them try to even out the economy. I am looking at the fact that I don't think I've seen Emily pop her Blade Storm yet. And so I'm kind of interested because I don't know at what time are we gonna see it.
And we also have the appearance of an operator here on Maddie's son. Doesn't spot anyone and gets smoked out by the star cover on Catwalk as the attackers make their way up of mid.
Jerry makes some good damage just blindly firing into the smoke. Oh,
Stephanie also being very aggressive, but unfortunately peeks that wrong angle and Zozy catches her off guard.
Seems like
Trey
they're just trying
going
to
for
get a
her
read.
same peaks, yeah. But they haven't left market open. We do have Carly taking this a little bit of a cheeky angle here, waiting for some attackers to push her. Maddie's son actually getting a pick with that operator. Some value out of those 500 credits, and it's going to be a good defensive weapon here.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, and that's gonna
There
be a
they are.
detrimental start. Oh,
What a perfect headshot from Carly. And that paranoia even misses her. And Hannah with a distraction. Lily going to trade, but it's a 3v1 now. Lily being the last one standing here in mid.
at this point, well, they don't really need to save, but I don't think you can take this back. There's 10 seconds on the timer.
10
It seems
seconds
like it will
left.
expire before anything can really happen. Just hoping to do some economic damage, but doesn't even get that.
Carly finds 3 for her this round, making it a 3-6 for Owa Owa.
Yeah, but despite the fact that they won the round, again, it's gonna take a little bit for the economy to recover from all that. But I think this is definitely going a little bit more in their favor now. You know, Emily with that op, I mean Maddie with the op. Wait, they both have ops. Oh, we're gonna see an op off.
Emily bought an op. Jet v Jet on the op. Some jet on jet violence out here in mid, probably going to occur.
Oh,
Emily gets the better of Maddie in that situation.
Oh,
Still
but that
has
is
a Blade Storm up.
Yeah, that is a good dart by Carly, though. It does get the information as to where two of them are, but the others are still unknown quantities. And it seems like they will be able to take mid a little bit.
Yeah, they just enjoy playing so slow. They are so careful with how they push, and like even though Natty is already up in tree, they're just going around and deciding to push A main instead, while they have Lily watching the flank.
Ray has picked up the op, though. We are seeing some presence in tree, but nothing really pushed out yet on A main.
30 seconds left.
It looks like they're gonna... Yeah,
stall for so much time.
You should run.
oh, finally sending it.
Oh my god.
Stephanie.
Player standing.
Such a good crisp
10
headshot
seconds
from
left.
Stephanie, but the trades are coming out in favor of SinCere. They're going to get this plant down.
Spike
Hannah, last
planted.
person standing with her Vandal, has a little bit of econ to spare. I think she's going to go for it in this 1v4 situation. To get some information with that cam quickly taken out. Gets one, but she's 11 HP, and Natty with 3k is going to get her.
And they do pick up the off after that. I feel like they're just waiting for just a little bit of like, I guess, information as to where they are, but it just takes a long time, and I feel like at some point it's gonna come back to bite them when the timer runs out. But for right now, it's really paying off for them. One thing I think they're also definitely playing off of is the fact that the defenders are just playing it so safe, splitting up their players, and because of that, when they full send the site, it takes long to just get the rotate in.
What is happening?
I don't know.
They were just deciding to hide behind
Huddle up?
that little building.
Yeah.
Is this a new strategy?
Cutting noise? Can you call it that?
Oh, well, I mean, Hannah's going rotate. Oh no, she's coming back. And here's a run it back being popped. Oh my god, she double taked that. But Natty still gets the pick and clearing sight for her team, following her, being a fearless leader. Oh my god. And the spike is going down.
Planted.
Trey with a Bucky. Oh. Hannah finding a pick with her sheriff. I believe Stephanie just tried to blast that kill Natty over there. But the picks are coming out in favor of SinCere once again, and Natty's son is left alone with her sheriff.
Rush gets the final pick.
Cleaning up.
Last round before the switch.
Again, it's this waiting and then the very quick execute that gets everything down and forces the enemy team to just act.
Yeah, I feel like stalling for that much time kind of makes it like them unsure of themselves, and it just means that they have to stay put. They don't know where the attackers are going, so they have to stay where they are. And then once they actually get on site, they're like taken completely off guard because they have to make rotations really quick, but by the time they get there, it's like everyone's dead.
Yeah. We do have a lot of ults up on Owa Owa's side though, so this can be turned around if they utilize it. But right now we see just again the waiting. Spike's all the way back too. They're playing it very safe.
Take flight.
Oh wow, they really left Spike and Spawn this time. Just clearing out Garden Rush with that owl drone doesn't spot anyone. I think he's like this entire game just kind of feels like you know, what's it called when the two cowboys like kind of stare at each other? A Mexican standoff? Is that what it's called?
Is it?
Going up.
I
I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
All that comes to mind is high noon.
Yeah, but that's exactly what this feels like. This entire game just feels like
30
they're like
seconds left.
staring at each other, waiting for someone to make a move.
Just holding the line to pull the trigger.
Here. Cage triggered.
Stephanie actually gets that first pick onto Natty, and Madison is going to get another onto MLQD, neutralizing the power of
10
that
seconds
off.
left.
As they try to push onto the site, but they're 10 seconds taken down,
One
and the
enemy
spike carrier
remaining.
has been killed. Oh my gosh. And Trey getting that last pick for pulling through for the last round in the half, making it a
sides.
4-8.
Yeah, I think what I definitely liked about that round was that they played off of the execution very quickly. I think SinCere tried to fake them out with Natty going off into, I guess, A site, but they were very quick to try and retake B. They didn't even let them get the plant down because they won't have time to plant the bomb if you just denied it. And so I think that they definitely adjusted well in that round, but the adjustments came very late. And so now we're seeing a switch in sides, and it's an unknown quantity now.
I like what Hannah is like prepping to do for this. Like she's using her Cypher cam as like a way to peek, sort of the same way that people do with their Killjoy turrets, how they like place it on top of things and let it peek for them, so that it kind of makes the Sentinels more like sort of entry roles in that way.
Yeah. I think it also has the combined factor of if you tag someone, they have to run out of that corner and take time to remove the tag.
Natty is taking a very aggressive position here. I'm not sure if she's going to get checked by Madison here.
Oh, but she does hear all of these footsteps, and it's gonna be a read.
It's the see, they just don't peek each other. They like wait for one. They just never swing, or not never, because eventually the attackers are going to have to be the first to swing because they are the ones who are short on time until the plant goes
Last
down.
player
And although these
standing.
trades are coming out with favor of SinCere once again, the defenders are just holding down the site. Carly, last person left standing, but after activating that alarm bot, she didn't have a chance. Zozy shooting her right in the back.
Yeah, I think they
Explosive
were
first round.
they didn't want the timer to run out, so they just executed, and I think it just didn't go well for them. I think they just lost the gunfights in that point.
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm
What we
grenade.
said before about these teams liking to play slow, like they just they just don't push. They don't push until the last second. Like they don't like to. They can be right next to each other, but they don't like swing. They don't want to take those aggressive plays or pushes until
Yeah,
like
very
until the
safe.
timer is almost at the end.
A very quick execute.
Yeah, this force is paying off in favor of Owa Owa as they get all those picks coming onto site, making it a 5v2 situation early into this round.
Turret out.
Justice are gonna try to clear some people out with those shock darts. Fortunately, doesn't.
Scanning ahead.
Taking one out.
They do have Spectres,
player
so it's
standing.
not an uneven gun matchup. Lele finding two of her own as Hannah is trying to get another, but Carly gets that last pick with her Spectre, making it 5-9, evening out the score a little bit more in favor of Owa Owa.
You know, the funny thing, we've been talking about patience all this time, but I feel like that round, SinCere was a little bit more quick to try and retake, and I think that cost them, actually. I think the patience is just definitely paying off for them, and I feel like once they do try to go away from that, it's not going to help too much.
Yeah, that was a good play by Owa Owa because they just decided to push right at the beginning. They were decisive and they knew where they wanted to go, and they did not respond to that aggression. But A-site is completely clear right now. These defenders becoming so aggressive here in mid, being punished for it. Hannah getting one, but it's quickly traded. Carly. Oh my god. A great shock dart kill there in tiles as Zozy pushes up catwalk. But they had complete control of A-site.
And that's the thing about sending it is if you're on the defender side and just decide to go push out, you're gonna have to eventually retake at some point because they're always gonna read it. Just again, the Western standoff.
One of them wanting to push. Peek, Zozy gets that one with the stinger, and that makes it a 3v2 situation. Spike ticking down. It looks like Zozy and Lily are going to opt for a save instead here. Actually, yeah, it doesn't look like they want to go for it.
Oh, but they are gonna meet.
They're going to find some closing pick.
Oh, so
Maddie's
close.
done.
That's gonna be worse for them. They tried
They're not
to
even
save.
allowed to save.
Yeah, but it just ended up being worse for them. Oh my goodness. Now we are seeing just very split up by on the defender side. I mean, Emily just wants that up, but it's not going to happen because they can't afford it. And so because of this, we are going to see Owa Owa again, also with the split buy, you know, no team really has a full advantage. This round might decide who wins the next one because as of right now, nobody really has a weapons advantage.
Yeah, and this is what I mean by pushing this Killjoy utility doing damage. She was able to clear out Carly with her nanoswarm, and the nanoswarm also pushed Emily, I mean Maddie-san, out of that, so Lily could get all three of those picks. She is taken out, but now it's just a 4v1 situation, and Hannah has to fight so hard to be able to win this round with that plant going down. Runs out of ammo, Natty gets that last one.
Yeah, Lily, her nanoswarm was just on point and forced the enemy. They couldn't even like try and take cover because they were forced out into her sight line. She got 2 picks off of that, surprisingly. And because of that, they just lost too much going in and they couldn't really hold the site.
Yeah, this is what I like to see from these teams. Like this type of aggression, it's just like they decided to rush that site, Owa Owa. They thought, but before the difference is when they were rushing a site, that site did not have a sentinel. But when you have all this utility that's going to delay and deter you, it's a lot harder to be that aggressive.
Because of that, they will be shifting more towards an A lean right now, trying to avoid that utility.
Natty's just trying to deny the attackers an op, destroying this door to make it harder for them to have a secure site here. And all the defenders making their rotations, with the exception of Lily, who needs to stay in range of your utility and look for a rotation.
Oh, but it looks like...
Ooh. Maddie-san also getting the better of a second offer in Garden. It looks like they're actually pushing back.
I know exactly where you are.
The neural stack is going to reveal the locations of all the defenders here. And Maddie is just stuck in aiming and trying to run away from this damage, and Maddie-san shoots her in the back.
I think she was just trying to get to a safe place to ult, but she couldn't find it in time.
Standing. Spike planted. Finished.
Oh, Lily.
And Lily.
Turn out.
She does have the Killjoy lockdown, but it is a 1v4 situation. And SinCere does have a sizable lead, but it looks like she's going for it, getting another pick onto Hannah. This is going to be rough, but...
She is unknown. Oh, but the minute she jumped down...
Carly just shot her from the side.
I'm interested because we were seeing so much patience at the beginning, but now it's like everybody's going for these very strong pushes and not even bothering with silence, you know? We saw that read on the A push because they were just running around. And so I wonder if they're gonna try and change it up because, well, they don't need to change it up actually because the defenders, they're just, they don't have the weapons power to even try and deny a site
Scanning
take.
ahead.
Yeah, it seems like Owa Owa has learned that Killjoy Lily does play on B site, and she does do that consistently. So I feel like if she does rotate her util, it would punish this sort of aggression a lot more. But right now, they're still leaning towards A site.
Yeah, I'm interested because if they do take this A site again, I'm wondering if Lily will shift her utility onto the A site, and maybe this will turn it onto SinCere's favor. But as of right now, A site is available without utility up from KJ.
Going up.
That Boombot isn't going to spot anyone out in garden, and the dark cover zone is out.
We haven't seen rotates come out yet. Only
Oh.
takes one out with her.
Yeah, the
Spike
two
planted.
defenders were still lingering on B site for a little while. I think she was trying to take back all of her utility there. And now the spike has gone down, and we have both Cypher and Split in A main. Probably some shock dart lineups to be had, but here comes the Killjoy lockdown, and it's going to be Hunter's
Oh,
Fury.
the Sova ult. But it doesn't hit.
No, it does. The lockdown has been destroyed. She's not going for the people. I think she's going for the lockdown. And the trades are all coming out in favor of the
Last player
attackers.
standing.
Spike's still taking down Emily, last person standing. She gets one, but I think she's going to opt for the save here. After the 3 ticks are gone down, she has no time.
Terry went out with the spike too. Again, we do see a lot of ult economy up for the SinCere side, but I don't know if they're gonna be using it. I don't think I've seen Emily use her Blade Storm, or did she? I saw Maddie use it once, but other than that, it's been kind of like just an ignored little thing.
Yeah, I think Emily used her Blade Storm once during the first half and was immediately taken out, so she didn't get much value from it. But we do have a lot of ults. It was just unfortunate last round for for Carly to have that Hunter's Fury up, because that lockdown just didn't get any value.
Yeah. That could have been big, but I think she was also trying to go for a different spot, trying to hit it on top of the lamp. I feel like if she had gotten that, that could have definitely turned the match around.
Going for the site with all the Killjoy utility once again. But here is the From the Shadows immediately taken out. But Trey is going to get a pick onto Lily backside, giving them full control and also a plant.
Yeah, using time to use that one that From that Shadows too also delays the rotate too. So Maddie she takes that
She's
one.
actually able to get one, and that's going to delay Emily from actually trying to retake the B site here, because she was preoccupied with trying to stop herself from being flanked by Maddie.
They have not gotten the read in B garage.
Yeah,
So
and
Stephanie.
Hannah, Trey, and Stephanie all finding their picks, making it 9 to 10 on the board. The game being a lot closer than anticipated.
This really turned around. I know I'm interested because people typically say, you know, defender-sided maps, but I feel like everything has always been more of an attacker, I guess, domination. I wouldn't say. No, not domination, but they have, I guess, more of an advantage? No. Words fail me, Tala.
I think definitely on sites, attackers do usually have a numbers advantage, because it usually will just be like a 5v2 or something on site.
sight.
Emily is going to hear all the noise that the attackers are making, and that means Rush is going to make her rotation as well.
And this time we are seeing quicker rotates, so hopefully they can retake the site.
The Hunter's Fury is also popped by Rush. She finds a little bit of damage, but not too much. And the spike still does go down. Planted for front green boxes, which is a little bit of a unique place.
I think they were trying to avoid his soul.
Trey finds 2
player
picks,
standing.
hardly another. And that's going to be a 4v1 situation already. Zozy with only a sheriff here in the Heaven. And the spike ticking down. Hannah hopping up and taking her right out.
Yeah, and I think there was more value in her death at that moment. I'm so astonished because we're at like neck and neck, 10 to 10. So this is very close.
I think Owa Owa has finally gotten that momentum that they needed, and the momentum is so important, especially for these attackers, because it's just like, you know, it has a snowball effect on these games.
Yeah. I think that's also the big thing about the, I guess, currency being capped out at 9,000 is these turnarounds can be so quick because of that.
Yeah, they can't just roll in money forever.
Oh.
That flash actually did connect, but Maddie decided not to swing off of it and got a little bit of damage from Maddie because of it. Paranoia also doesn't connect, but Maddie is just popping off right now, taking out both defenders on the A site and giving her team a free plan.
Spike
Spike
a 3v5.
planted.
Oh. I think that 3v4.
Zozy is able to find one who's trying to take control of the CT.
Trying to split up the site and take a little bit more control.
Scouts down.
Maddie does find one, Carly, but that makes it a 3v3 situation now. Maddie finding another.
Player standing.
Pitiful.
Zozy's oh.
That's a 3k for Maddie. Great round for her as they make it 11 to 10 on the board.
And this might be another conversion because SinCere, they really forced that last round. Even with the op, they're gonna take a huge hit from that, and they might have to concede another round. This could be a 12 to 10.
Yeah, that would bring it up to match point, and then after that, they would have to win 2 rounds in a row to make it up to an overtime for these teams.
Oh, what is this? Is Owa Owa full sending it mid?
They are full sending it mid. Oh my
Oh,
god,
but it's the
they're
wrong side.
wrong side. Oh my god, they are running it onto A site right now. They're like, there's nobody there. And Jure has Heaven control now. That's not good. Oh, but Zozy quick with it on that Sheriff. Finds Jure, and that's actually a 5v4 situation despite that mid send.
But it has become a retake now, and I don't think they're gonna have to take these fights, but they are close angles. They can win these if they choose to.
They don't really have the gun power though. Carly getting 2 picks, 3 picks, holding it down in Garden. Hannah finding another, and Zozy last person standing. They're trying to bet this match point. Maddie Sutton taking out that last one, cleaning up.
Match point.
That was surprising. I didn't expect the full. It never works. It never works when you push out as defender because for some reason the stars just align and they're not there. They're somewhere else, and you just kind of are in that moment of, well, I guess we'll try and flank with like 3 people now.
All 3 of us are going to flank them.
They don't expect it. They don't expect the 3-man flank. And now we're at match point, but is this a pause? Tech pause. All right.
Yeah, I believe this is a tech/tactical pause.
Yeah. And I'm so interested in the fact that like we saw a huge change in how they play their rounds, you know. I feel like SinCere just took it so slow, and because of that, sometimes they'd lose to time. But it seems like Owa Owa just full sends it. They go Owa Owa, and they're on site.
Yeah, that full send was unfortunate. I feel like mid control is very important for Ascent, which is why they decided to run him out down mid. But I really think it's more important to be able to just push out of those, out of the site's main, because then you can see if they're there or not much quicker than you can if you're in mid.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested in this KJ utility setup on A site now because it seems like they're trying to get a read on the enemy team. And so I feel like next round we're going to see just punishment if we see, again, that full send by Owa Owa. This might be able to turn this in SinCere's favor, which they definitely need because right now they have to go all out to try and take this back. They have to get those 3 rounds in a row. And I'm not sure they have the advantage because, again, Jet with her knives, Sova with his ult, they can just go hard right now.
Carly only sees the Killjoy utility on site, probably signaling to her team that Killjoy set up there and decided to go back to B.
Yeah. And that was a very smart read because now, look at this. Omen's all alone. Wait.
Oh my gosh, they're rotating onto A site after hearing that owl drone.
Zosie is
have
going to
no
have
idea.
to hold side. I'm very confused because Emily's all the way back in CT spawn.
And here's the showstopper looking to find some damage. Oh, I think she kind of damaged herself there when she was trying to shoot it into CT. Got confused by the smoke, but Carly's getting this plant down as Maddie clears sight, and that's going to make it a 5v4 situation.
At the attacker's advantage, surprisingly.
And here's the Hunter's Fury trying to find some damage into CT. Unfortunately, doesn't connect, but they are going to be able to go for this retake with one of the ultimates down. That Paranoia does, however, blind one of our defenders, but Natty is going to be flashing under the site, trying to take site control. She finds one, but she's quickly traded. Hannah and Carly cleaning up. That's a match for them, 13-10.